Okay guys, so we're back. I'm Dr. Stephanie from Dakota Natural Health Center.
I'm Kevin Oberlander, pharmacist at Dakota Pharmacy.
So we're continuing talking about the 5 R's. You know, last week we kind of did an intro that we're going to do this once a week. But before we do that, we have a challenge for Kevin, because earlier this week I posted the nose balloon, right? You guys saw the nose balloon. It's a system called an otovent. It's a new thing that we're carrying at the pharmacy now to help both kids and adults that have trouble normalizing pressure in their ears. Sometimes because of infection, allergies, whatnot, and kids can end up with this chronic fluid in their ears or this difficulty with normalizing pressure. So anyway, I did this video holding up my end of the bargain with the nose balloon, and Kevin was laughing at me about it. So now he has to do the nose balloon because, well, this is his second time with the nose balloon. The first one, I maintained that I stretched the balloon out for him first because he blew it up really easily. So now we're giving him a fresh balloon, and Kevin's going to demonstrate the nose balloon. It's a brand new balloon. I'll maintain it.
Oh, it's done.
Yeah, okay, all right.
Ready?
Oh! No way! This, ladies and gentlemen, just proved that he is more full of hot air than I am. Thank you.
The size of 2 grapefruits.
So that's the otovent, and I hope you guys are interested. So, all right.
My ears popped.
Yeah. Now I'm going to sound really loud to you, louder than I actually am.
Okay.
So now, we're going to talk about the first of the 5R steps, and that is remove. So again, the 5R thing is talking about how to change your diet and your lifestyle for better gastrointestinal health. And the first step is removing things in your diet and things in your life that can be hindering your digestive health.
I think one thing really important about the first step is you don't have to buy anything for the most part. It is just a lifestyle change, learning how to eat. We're going to talk a little bit about that. But you don't have to spend any money on removing what's causing the problems.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. So you were making a really good point before about how we eat, and why don't you start with that, and then we'll talk about the food part.
Yeah, we get a lot of reflux questions, obviously, because as a pharmacist, we dispense a lot of medications for reflux, and oftentimes it's incredibly necessary because of esophageal erosion. I think it's really important that the public understands reflux oftentimes is just a side effect of improper eating habits. We eat too fast, we don't chew our foods, we tend to drink a lot of fluids when we're eating because we're chasing large globs of food instead of chewing it up and swallowing it. There's a lot of digestive enzymes in your saliva. One of my favorite GI guys talks about how cooks tend to have less GI problems because they smell their food as they're preparing it before they eat. So they have a lot of salivation going on. He says people should sit with their food for a good 3 or 4 minutes, just absorbing the odor, allowing your saliva to start flowing, and then chew that food, and to drink very limited amount of liquids to chase it. When we drink a lot of liquids, we tend to distend the stomach. That puts pressure. It dilutes our stomach acid, so we make more than we might need. That distension then puts pressure, and then we get that push back up. That's where we get that reflux. Or we lay down after we eat, and it's easily refluxed back up. So one of the best things you can do for your GI health is chew your food. And you should chew it 10 to 15 times each bite before you swallow. Takes you a long time to eat, but it's so much better for you.
We're always waiting on him, but it's fine. It's good. We like him, so it's okay. Just kidding. So, you mentioned the stretching out of the stomach, and that's diluting the stomach acid when there's too much in there. But there are actually, specific kinds of foods are also the culprits when it comes to diluting stomach acid over time, or hindering your ability to make enough stomach acid, as well as other problems. So these are the kinds of things that we talk about avoiding when you're trying to, remove these obstacles to good gastrointestinal health. So one thing, of course, top of the list, generally speaking, is your processed foods, or in foods that contain food-like chemicals or enhancing flavors, whatnot, instead of just actual flavor of food. That certainly is going to impair digestive function.
Carbonation, carbonated beverages, pops and sodas in particular, very detrimental to the GI integrity of the GI tract.
Yep. Pesticide is also a problem. Now, not all of us can afford to eat organic or have access to organic foods all the time, so it's good to be aware that there are different ways. There's actually online you can check out, the Dirty Dozen, which is the 12 foods that are most heavily pesticide laden, and see if you can't switch out to organic with some of those foods. On the contrary, we also have the Clean 15, so the 15 foods with the least amount of pesticide, that if you have to pick and choose, those would be better to choose conventionally grown versus organically grown.
And then I think there's the obvious culprits, caffeine, sugar. White foods are sugar, so thinking about that when you're making that food choice. We still have to enjoy ourselves, so it's all moderation.
Right.
If somebody brings a plate of cookies, it's hard not to have one, but it's wrong to have 8.
Right. That's true. Alcohol is another big culprit when it comes to irritation of that esophageal sphincter.
Yep. And again, everything in moderation.
Yep, that's really true.
And I think another big thing that we really don't think about is just life stress. Stress is really hard on the GI tract. Emotional stressors, negative influences, physical stress, pain, those types of things have a very detrimental impact on the health of our GI tract.
Yep, absolutely. So there's a lot of different ways that you can look at this when we talk about removing obstacles to digestive health. It's not, does food make a difference? Is food important? Of course, but we don't have to always be so hyper-focused just on food. So hopefully we've been able to give you guys some ideas of, yes, pay attention to your diet. If you're having digestive issues, try, eliminating or at least researching more about reducing some of these certain foods. But address your lifestyle too. What do you need to remove within your lifestyle that's adding to your stress, that's not adding to quality, that can help with life overall, and in turn, of course, your digestive process.
So again, in review, the first R is remove.
Thanks for joining us.
Thank
See you next
guys.
Friday.